The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
All my old bones where they belong, in position on this microphone.
Just your old ones, though. What about your new ones?
I wish I could get new bones.
God, same.
I wish that, Rev, will you 3D print me some new bones?
Yeah, but only if you hear this random fact about your body that I heard the other day and has been haunting me.
Great.
Your nipples are older than your teeth.
well, mine are, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time on Nip Winders.
Nip Winders. That's like the level up of like a titty twister. I'm going to give him a nip winder.
God, I'm just thinking about how my teeth are younger than my nipples, but they're in such worse shape. It's just how different parts of your body take so much more wear.
Yeah, I don't routinely cover my nipples in sugar water.
Only occasionally.
Only when Megan wants to play Hummingbird.
God.
Fuck!
Last time on the Clockwinders.
It's like the third to last place I'd want to get cavities.
Last time on the Clockwinders.
Wait. What are the other ones?
No.
Because I feel like I know, and then I realized I don't.
No. No.
Last time on the Clockwinders. Our heroes bested Cevna. I'm waiting for more either screams or nipple talk any second now.
Usually one follows the other.
We're going to do both at the same time now. Nipples!
They managed to fight the bad guy. They managed to scare the bad guy. She called off the Wraiths to the best of her ability, but was unable to reconnect to one of them for reasons unknown, maybe because she had lost consciousness in the fight. It was unclear to her. Einon then unceremoniously KO'd her again, which was, in my opinion, a dick move, and ran off to try and intercept or at least alleviate the damage of that Wraith. Before he went, Kade was able to imbue him with some special ether speed before diverting his attention to what to do with this motherfucking movement core that they can't just fix, they can't just leave, they don't want to kill her. What do we do? And while he was puzzling out potential other solutions, maybe just bypassing this one altogether in some capacity, we, the audience, saw Doris sneaking up behind them outside, having finally concluded her journey and caught up to them. But before we deal with the consequences of that anymore, let's jump over to Einon. You are moving through the forest at tremendous speed back towards the town of Edge River. This ether boost may be giving you sufficient edge to, if not overtake, catch up to the escaped Wraith. And this trip that took hours before is more than halved. But along the run back, you are not catching sight of the Wraith. You do not catch it in the trees. You do not see it moving ahead of you throughout your traversal of the forest. Just getting eyes on it as you catch sight of the river that you traveled here on. You see it. You see the river and the Wraith just about to make its crossing. You see it.
It's reaching up for the zip line handles.
No, it is taking the straightest line. It seems to be of no concern to it because you see it float off the bank of the river and hover all the same just above the water as it starts to make its way across towards the town. You can see that some of the folks who are out on the river's edge notice it and start to panic. What are you doing?
Firstly, to backtrack moments, I think for most of this run, all that's going through my head is a greater understanding of why people get addicted to the ether use, because this is rad as hell. So I see this Wraith. I wipe the bugs out of my eyes from speeding.
And your teeth.
Yep. And the moment that I am in bow range, I skid to a halt and just take a shot immediately.
All right. Why don't you roll to attack with shoot?
That is a 6.
All right. He defends with athletics, but he only gets a 2. So you do 4 steps of harm on him. I'm going to invoke one of this Wraith's aspects to try and mitigate that damage some. An aspect called Warhawk.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to match him. I'm the boogeyman coming after some monsters.
Fair enough. I will save the rest of mine. You fire an arrow which pierces through this Wraith, and it lets out this kind of haunting, wailing scream. And you see that the point where your arrow penetrated, it almost like cracks from that point. Like there's a bit of a spread. You see additional ether start like seeping out of this thing. And it turns to face you. And it doesn't look like the other ones that you saw patrolling. Not exactly. It is cloaked. It is spindly. But its face is much more weathered. It is scarred. One of its eyes is kind of milky, and you would almost think that it had multiple faces because it is just like thrashing, like shaking its head so rapidly that it's like it is looking multiple directions at once. And I think it's unclear whether that is deliberate or involuntary. But after taking you in, after acknowledging its attacker, it turns and you see it just phase through Radical Dave's shack, putting an obstacle between you and it as it proceeds towards the city.
Oh, wily little bastard, aren't you? I'm, full sprint and just going to dive into the river and try to swim across as fast as I can.
Okay. I think that's going to be an overcome with athletics.
Okay.
Trying to beat a 3.
That is a 5.
All right. That is a full success. You dolphin dive in and overpower the current, clearing your way to the other side pretty rapidly. As you are swimming, each time that your ears are above the surface, though, you hear more people starting to scream and starting to panic within town.
Does it seem like it got particularly far in that amount of time? Like, can I get an idea of where those screams are coming from, or is it just like up and down the avenues at this point?
I think you could maybe try to investigate to get an idea of like the epicenter.
I would love to do so.
I could also see this creating an advantage.
Oh.
You could be adding a scene aspect here, having like taken in what's going on.
Yes, please.
Okay. So why don't you create an advantage with investigate? I think this one's a little tougher than the last. I think you're trying to beat a 4.
Ooh, okay. That I hit a 4.
Do you want to invoke anything to bump it up to a full success? If not, you will create this aspect, but you will merely get a boost.
I think I'm just going to take that.
Okay. So we can create a scene aspect here. We can call it like, here you coming. You have an auditory idea of where the creature is based on the reactions of the people around.
Okay.
But you will simply get a boost for now.
Okay.
So, as you clear it up onto the banks on the opposite side, you've got this idea auditorily. You do not have eyes on it. It is somewhere beyond the buildings. And some people are starting to spill like this direction, like towards the river, as if it is the path of least resistance to get away from the Wraith.
Yeah, I'm working against the crowd, trying to get along the side, hardcore parkour to get past these people.
I don't think that much necessitates a roll. I think you have the strength and athleticism to get past the crowd and onto the thoroughfares of Edge River. And you see that Wraith just passing in and out of buildings, like traveling just in a straight line through some of the residences and some of the shops out here. And like it'll, pass out of a building into the street, and then it goes into a building, and you just hear like wanton destruction and screams and panic. And then comes out of that building, you see it for a second, and then as it passes into another building, you just hear that again. It just seems like it is fucking shit up.
I'm going to just try to track its movement and get to where I know it'll be, come out of that building to where there can only be, another closest building so I can be between it and its next target.
All right, you time out this shot. Give me an attack roll with shoot.
Okay. 6.
He rolls a 0 to defend.
Ooh.
I think he's just going to take every bit of that. And this time, his attention snaps directly at you. And he moves impossibly fast in your direction and raises those spindly fingers that are glowing green with ether to slash out at you. Would you like to defend?
Yes, I'm going to roll under that. That's a 5.
He got a 4. Think I am going to again invoke Warhawk to bump that up to a 6.
All right. I've got keen-ass reactions.
Okay, spend your final fate point.
The difference between 2 and 3
is stark.
Is a much more vast gap than people realize.
People being you.
Yeah.
You take no damage. You manage to dive out of the way of his slash. And as you kind of right yourself and reorient again, you notice that he seems to be healing. You see that wound that opened up from your arrow before he turns back to face you again, kind of shrinking closed. You see some of the ether leaking out, almost getting drawn back in. That would bring us to the end of the initiative, because it's only the two of you. I think he's going to want to go again on this one, though. He's going to pick himself to go first. He, almost raises himself to his full height, and that shaking of his head, it's like he is being tormented by something, but he gets tall. He gets his cloak wide, those fingers reaching out for you, and he lets out this horrible, otherworldly scream. He is trying to drive fear into your heart. He is going to roll to provoke.
What?
So you can defend with will, if you so choose.
Yeah, I'm sure going to try.
Okay. I got a -2. What'd you get?
-3.
You're not very scary, but he's not very brave in this moment.
All right, well, you can take 1 point of mental distress here.
Okay, I will.
But it is your turn.
My goodness, I'm going to have to start shooting a little faster, aren't I? And I'm going to put another arrow through him.
Okay. I can't believe he doesn't have a good way to defend against ranged attacks.
5.
Got a 0. You put another arrow in him. What does this look like as you fell the Wraith?
I just I imagine this, whatever this effect is that I'm seeing of this split sort of essence, that these two faces are warring against each other in a weird way as it's shrieking, trying to instill that fear in me. And I just put that arrow right through the middle of the face, and the whole thing just splits apart, just right down the middle, these two shrieking pieces that melt away.
You split this thing in twain, and it falls to the ground, almost like a mechanism that lost power. You see a lot of the ether just kind of evaporate out of this, and the corpse, for lack of a better word, hits the ground. It's like it's broken, but it is not functioning. It is no longer glowing. It is no longer shaking or screaming. And bit by bit, some of the townsfolk who were nearby start to kind of peek around corners, trying to look at what was happening and start to move in closer.
It's all right, everyone. It's dead, for good now. And I kind of look around. I'm almost morose that I don't get 2 more.
That first townsperson that you encountered right off the boat starts walking in your direction. You killed it.
Well, yes, of course. It has a face.
That's amazing. Is she coming?
No, she is quite incapacitated.
They look flabbergasted, and they're looking around to some of the other people around who have heard this, who are also just what the fuck? How? And they look back to you. My God, thank you. That's unbelievable.
No, listen, I'm one to be as transparent as possible. This only arrived here because we were hunting her. This was legitimately my fault. Naturally, I am doing my best to own these truths, and so any of these that I can put down, I will.
I think you notice one person who is kind of like specifically scrutinizing the remains of the Wraith. It is an older woman who is crouched down over it and like pretty up in its face, like looking very closely at it.
I join her. I hate to ask this. Is this someone that you knew?
Not personally, no, but I know his history. This was the Commodore.
The Commodore?
Commodore Jenkins, he led the final defense at Fort Utrecht. He perished in the battle.
My goodness. How long ago was that?
Oh, a long time.
Burn him, he asked the forbidden question.
The townspeople all grab you.
I deserve it.
They tear you limb from limb.
I've got no fate points left. Nothing I can do. I am aware of at least 2 more under her control, and I intend to put them down if at all possible, though the witch that resides in the fort does have apprentices. One is unaccounted for. And I'll actually, just to everyone like close, I'm standing up to kind of shout this out, and I describe her. If anyone sees this woman, be aware that she may be infiltrating you on behalf of the witch, but I assure you, the Clockwinders are here to do everything we can to keep you safe first and to fix that core second. That involves evacuating that witch from the fort.
Your first point of contact townsperson says, where are your friends? Where are the people that you showed up with?
Well, at the moment, they're keeping an eye on the witch and also waiting for that other apprentice.
Which brings us to Kade and Maxine. Kade, as you have this realization and you turn to Maxine to like express what you have discovered, you just catch sight of a silhouette outside of the door.
Yeah, so we can't... hello.
What have you done?
We didn't do this.
Einon did. He's back in town if you want to go find him.
You will leave this place. Now.
Nah, we're not gonna.
You see Ether start to dance at her fingertips.
Stop. Just look at what we can do. We're stronger than you even can imagine.
What are you going for here? Are you trying to scare her?
I am. I'm trying to like show her Cevna and Vaughn tied up and like cast doubt into her mind.
I think that this is still going to be a combat. I think we are entering a combat here. Why don't you roll to attack with provoke, and she will roll to defend with will.
-2.
Oh.
It's not a good plan.
All right, you fail to do any damage. She defends and gains a boost because she got a 6.
Yikes.
Who goes next?
I think she does. If she's not, like, that was nothing to her.
Okay. You see those crackling bolts of ether appear from her fingertips. She launches them in Maxine's direction. Maxine, would you like to defend?
I'd love to.
How so? With what?
I think I duck.
Okay. Roll to defend with athletics. She got a 3. I'm going to spend the boost, calling it unperturbed, to bump it up to a 5.
-2.
Would you like to do anything about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a fate point to re-roll.
Okay. What are you invoking?
Perspicacious. I think I'm just picking up on what she's planning to do and the fact that she's aiming for me and just trying to like figure out what her attack is going to look like so I can try and duck out of the way.
Okay. Spend your fate point and re-roll.
-2.
Come on, Tass, get it together.
Anything else anybody would like to do in Maxine's favor?
Yeah, I got Maxine's back, so I will spend a point to let her re-roll again.
Okay. Spend your fate point, Maxine. You can re-roll. This is your 3rd strike.
If history tells us anything, this should be a -2, but with different
With different numbers.
dies.
-2.
Oh my God.
Anything else? Any bright ideas? Any miracle solutions?
Nah, I think I get hit by lightning.
Okay, well, take 7 points of stress.
Oh my god.
You can mark that as conditions or physical stress, however you want to parcel it out.
Okay, I'm going to take wounded as a lasting. I'm going to take panicked as a fleeting, and then 2 points of physical.
Okay. So remember that for those lasting conditions, mark both boxes, and it's still only 4 points, but that just reflects how you heal it over time. Damn, I feel like that might be the biggest hit any of you guys has taken so far in this game.
Yeah.
But she has no choice but to pass it to Kade.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a fate point to charge myself up with ether, and then I'm going to hit her with my wrench.
Okay. Roll to attack with fight. She's going to defend by using lore to manipulate ether.
7.
She got a 3. I'm going to invoke one of her aspects, survival at all costs, to bump it up to a 5 to mitigate some of that damage.
I'm going to invoke ether charged to put my magic into that wrench.
Okay. So we're back at a 4 difference. I'll hold there. She'll take that. So she takes 4 points. As you have seen before, you strike her and you see her come out of it kind of like frenzied, like eyes wide, almost like grinning. She is clearly hurt, but she seems like intoxicated by this, like she's overconfident.
Ew.
Who goes next?
Can I don't know if this is a thing I can even do on my turn. You said that like she looked worse for wear. Does she look like she's recovered from our last fight?
I'll just give you that. Yes. She looks like she's recovered. It just looks like the trek back here was not through favorable conditions.
Yeah. When I hit her, does she look at me?
Yes.
Her.
Okay. Well, by God, she's going to try and hit you with some ether bolts.
Okay.
She's got one job on this ship. Extremely bad roll. She got a 2 to attack with lore. Sorry.
Yeah, tell me if you've heard this before. I'm going to defend with lore now.
Okay.
I've turned it back on you.
All right, roll it.
4.
Oh man. All right, so I got 3 blanks and a minus. I'm trying to decide if a re-roll would be the wise use. Like it's a net negative. I'm going to risk it.
Okay.
Gonna invoke her veteran ether witch. Try to re-roll this attack. It got better by 1. So that's a 3. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna save this last fate point.
Okay.
So you take no damage. She fires out these ether bolts, but they go wide. It actually seems like they go past you and are kind of drawn into the open maw of the movement core.
Oh. Do I get something for that? Do I get a boost for that?
Having only succeeded by 1, you merely defend.
Okay.
If you succeed with style on a defend, you get a boost.
I see.
But that was not quite with style.
Okay.
She is gonna. I shouldn't say she. It's not narrative. I'm gonna hand it over to Maxine. She's not like, all right, now I did my thing, so now you attack me, and then you attack me, and then you attack me again.
As I'm laying on the ground, just.
Kade's like, think about your chakras now.
She did it. She unlocked them.
Yeah.
I want to use my new stunt that I got called See the Cracks. When you use Investigate to create a weak spot or similar advantage on someone, the first player to invoke that aspect can inflict an additional 2 shift hit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to create an advantage with Investigate. She's going to defend herself. The only way I can think to do that is with Deceive, trying to hide a weak spot.
5.
She got a 0. So you succeed with style. You get 2 free invokes on this aspect. And what is it? What is her weak spot?
I'm going to call it blind loyalty. I think her attention keeps getting pulled to Cevna and Vaughn and creates a distraction.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So yeah, you have 2 free invokes on her blind loyalty.
And the first person to invoke it gets a 2 shift hit. Is that the right?
Plus 2, yeah. 2 more than the harm they would naturally do. Who's next?
Kade?
What if we just skip Kade and we went back to her?
I think we could do that after Kade goes, and then maybe he goes
again
and picks me, or
he
goes again.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we could go back to Doris.
But then, okay. All right, that's fine. Kade, what are you doing?
I'm going to hit her with this wrench again.
Hell yeah.
5?
She got a 4. She's desperate. I know this isn't going to pay off, but I think she's going to spend the fate point invoking survival at all costs to try and mitigate that damage.
Yeah, I will utilize one of the invokes that Maxine just created.
That bumps you up an additional 2. Do you want to spend anything else to get any more bumps?
I'm going to invoke Dual Disciplined. I'm using some of the weight of this magic in the space to help me with these hits.
All right, that will get you up to 5 shift hit with the 2 freebies you get from invoking Blind Loyalty first. What does this look like as you fell Doris again?
Again!
I think that there's just this brief moment of like that dense ether in the air, and like we just see it kind of cutting through the space as it catches her on the chin and knocks her backwards and unconscious.
Okay, you KO Doris. You are now in the presence of 3 unconscious ether users.
That's got to be all of them, right?
Oh my gosh, I hope so. Oh, my whole bones hurt.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
bad.
gosh.
You'll be okay, I promise.
Oh, man. I'm just going to lay here for a while if that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go tie up Doris.
Okay.
I'm gonna tie her. I'm gonna tie the 3 of them together now.
Okay.
Tie their legs together so it's like if they want to walk, they got.
Do a 5-legged race.
Yeah, and who's in the middle? Because that'll be the hardest. They
A
won't have it.
4-legged race.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4.
Poor whoever's in the middle. They're like, I'm just going to put my arms around you guys and you just do what you're going to do.
Yeah, and I set Smee to guard them.
Okay.
And to just, hey, if they move, whack them.
All right. It's getting a little cramped inside the dome here, assuming that we are still doing all of this within the dome now. You've got the 3 of them bound together, plus the 2 of you in this space that was only meant to hold 2 people. So,
Yeah.
What is the plan now? You have dealt with all 3 of the ether users that you would expect to see here. Einon is headed out to deal with the one that was still going for the city. You do know that now 2 more are theoretically on the return, but for the moment, you are clear.
So let's move their bodies out of here, because hopefully those wraiths are just coming back to her and they'll just chill.
Yeah, or maybe they'll just continue patrolling outside the walls.
Yeah, but either way, let's get these ether users out of this dense ether fog.
Okay. Yeah, you drag him out. Where are you putting him?
I guess just still visible, but outside of the door.
Okay. You drag him out into the courtyard.
Yeah.
It starts to rain.
Good.
I'm just adding a little bit of humiliation on their part. They're out in the wet now.
So the thing I discovered before we were interrupted was that, like, I thought maybe we could just leave this one to them and everything would still work, but it needs 6. Unless the other 5 were running, like, overtime. Or it could be a different 6.
You mean like the other ones that aren't accessible?
Yeah.
In like the burnt lands and towards the Frost Sea?
Yeah.
Okay, but like they're tied up, so maybe we can just fix this one. I think that's good to know, but we still have 2 that we don't even know if we'll be able to access, so I don't think we should count on trying to get to ones that are currently really inaccessible in case we might need to for the others.
Yeah. They're making it real hard not to kill them. Can I just say that? Does that sound bad? Because it feels bad to say.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound great, Kade.
Yeah, it feels bad. But do you agree?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I understand that their intentions aren't good, but to jump to killing them, I don't know. Is this because the ether? You've been using it more often, and this just seems like kind of an escalation.
I mean, Einon was about to do it a couple minutes ago.
Oh, well, I mean, he was bluffing, wasn't he? Oh my gosh, he wasn't bluffing, was he? I didn't think that he would actually do that. I just figured it was a threat. An empty threat, I guess. I mean.
I think I don't think he wants to do it, and I don't want to kill these people, but if they're willing to sacrifice a whole town to get what they want, that's why I said it. I didn't mean like, oh, it's hard not to kill him because I want to be killing, but just.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's good. That's a good distinction. I do feel though that there are quite a few steps between letting them go and killing them. So maybe we could explore some of those before we jump to a more permanent solution.
Yeah, I mean, if you got one, boy, I'm all ears.
Well, we've got them tied up. Ideally, locking them away. again, that brings us back to the idea that as ether users, they could probably just bust themselves out. And we don't really have any sort of jail system set up to contain ether magicians.
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take you to fix this? And I gesture to the movement core.
How long do I think it would take me to fix this?
Mechanically, we're looking at a +5 difficulty. Narratively, a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like to restore it to how it looked in its heyday and functioned in its heyday. Yeah, I mean, I think you'd expect that you'd probably be spending a couple days here.
Yeah. Probably a couple days. I mean, this thing is almost just the components.
I'm trying to think about this strategically, and I've got an idea, but I don't like it. We're not going to be able to keep them locked up, but we could get them away and have them think that if they made it back here, they would have their source of power.
What do you mean?
If you were able to shut it down, maybe we could take some of these components with us, keep them safe, shut down this movement core, take the 3 of them with us, take them back to Sun's Edge, or maybe just as far away as we can, and then if they try to make their way back here, in that time, this will be completely cut off from ether, and they won't have it as a source, but they won't know about it until it's too late.
So try to find a different 6th and, give them a long walk home before they realize they don't have access to what they thought they did.
Or maybe in the time that it takes us to fix the other 2 movement cores, this one will be available for us to freely come work on and fix. Either that or find one in the inaccessible zones.
We really got to get, I say we got to get people out to these to, defend them, but who are we going to send to defend an ether core against these 3? That's just setting someone up for a bad time.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone from town would fare well against one of these 3, let alone all of them.
You got hit by that lightning. Do you feel like anything coming from the earth? Or?
Honestly, I just feel kind of crispy.
Okay.
I haven't really done a full systems check yet.
All right, so we stop it up. We take them with us. We let them out. Hopefully they try to come home. And then they come home and all the power's turned off in the home.
Yeah.
And then they get real mad.
Mm-hmm.
And they take it out on the city.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think of that part. As I was saying it, that's when the idea hit me. I was trying to think of, next logical steps.
I mean, do you think they would take it out on the city, or would they try to take it out on us?
Boy, Doris seems like she's just going to take it out on the first person she can find. Did you notice when I hit her, she liked it?
No, I was a little distracted.
Yeah.
At the very least, I think we should separate them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maybe we can send one of them down the river?
In a little basket?
Yeah. We'll get Mac Jackrel to set him up on his ship. We'll get Jack Mackerel to go the other way.
Yes.
And we'll drown the 3rd at the bottom of the river. Additionally, I did have another thought, and honestly, it's my favorite of all of the choices we've discussed today, but I have no idea how we would actually pull it off. What if instead of cutting off their access to the movement core, we cut off their access to ether?
Well, I mean, isn't that the same thing?
Well, no, because ether exists all around. It's most concentrated at the movement cores, leaking from the ones that aren't in good shape and properly venting from the rest of them, but that's why they're able to use their abilities anywhere. You and I both have the ability to use ether, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you've got more control. Like we were talking about with Einon earlier. I can use it, but I can't really choose to use it unless I have something that wants to tap into the power already, like the orb. So we know that there are different levels of being able to access ether. I don't think we can completely take away their ability to access it, but maybe we can take away their ability to choose to access it.
Oh, you mean take away their access to it, their specific access to it? Ah.
Yeah, try to make it so they can't tap in when they choose to.
Huh. So the opposite of what happened to me.
Exactly. Though, again, no idea how to actually pull that one off.
Yeah, how do you, I was going to say, how do you turn off a faucet, but you just turn the knob? Let me see if they got any knobs on them.
Wink.
Yeah, that's okay. yeah, I don't know how we would do that, but like if they couldn't just do it, if they were back to where you are and where I was, but I don't know how to do that.
But I think it's a good idea, and maybe it's something we can learn. I don't think it's something we'll be able to implement right now, unfortunately, which would be great since we have them all tied up and available, but it may be more of a solution down the line.
Yeah, maybe if we get like small ether quartz, like they have those absorb energy, and we just make them swallow one, like each day, like a pill.
Then they're just full of batteries. They never run out of power.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, first things first, let's break a movement core.
Let's. But next time.
Ah!
Hey.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of The Crit Show. If you're interested in more information about the Clockwinders or Fate, you can find that information in the show notes. You can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/thecritshow to gain access to all sorts of additional stuff, podcasts, videos, games, all kinds of great content, and no names.
Thank you to our new patrons, Mac Jackerel and Jack Mackerel.
Thank you, the lethal twins. And thanks to all of you for joining us for another episode. Tune in next time for more adventures of the Clockwinders. Everybody say bye.
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 Bye!
I hesitated because I saw how up on his mic Tass was getting, and I wasn't sure if I was about to be interrupted or not.
Oh.
Nope. Bye.
The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz, with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritshow.